God says, the hour is narrowing, and not everyone will hear this trumpet. But you, chosen soul, have been pulled into this message by divine force. You were not scrolling by mistake, this is not a coincidence. The heavens are stirred, and Archangel Michael is pacing. The sword of fire has been unsheathed, not in wrath, but in protection for your name. They are casting arrows in silence, but none shall pierce you. This is not for the many, it is for the one. You. The one who has cried in silence and walked in the shadows with weights no one could see. You have 6 minutes left in the unseen realm. 6 minutes to align your spirit with the war happening behind the veil. 6 minutes before the scrolls begin to close for the day. Type 333 for blessing. This signal breaks chains. This motion declares that you are awake in the spirit. They have been trying to trace you through the echoes of your trauma. They have whispered your past like poison into the ears of false prophets. But they do not know your location anymore, because I, Archangel Michael, have shielded it in smoke and fire. God says, no man, no woman, no force on earth will override what I have written about you. I have placed a burning seal over your name, and no unclean hand will touch it. This is final, this is law, this is fire. The plot they planted has been trampled. The eyes they opened against you are now blindfolded in confusion. Their tongues speak your name, but they no longer hold access. They are searching, but I am shielding. They are watching, but I have blocked the view. They are guessing, but I have erased your coordinates. Speak now. Not to them, but into the heavens. Speak and declare your protection. Speak and declare your assignment. The enemy walked through the mirrors of your memories. They attempted to turn your reflections into regrets. But I shattered their glass with the edge of divine judgment. You were weeping, but it was not weakness. It was intercession. Heaven heard it before you even formed the words. I moved angels into your atmosphere. I shifted guards in the spirit who were trained for warfare in silence. This was not an emotional storm, it was a sacred defense. Release 444. This is the code of divine detonation. Release it and tear down what they tried to build in the dark. Your footsteps are now sacred patterns. Every tear you dropped watered holy soil. That place of betrayal has become a throne room. God says, your location has changed, not in flesh, but in dimension. You've been lifted, promoted, elevated in spirit. They will look for you where you used to be and find only smoke. Every secret they kept from you has now become powerless. Every door they closed on you has now disappeared. I am not only opening new doors, I'm building new dimensions. This battle was never fair. You fought demons without names. You carried weights not even generational patterns could explain. But the bloodline curse ends now. The spiritual ambush collapses. The arrows have turned backwards. Type Amen to seal it. This is not religious habit, this is holy activation. This is recognition in the courts of angels. I saw them trying to pull your name into darkness. I saw them building altars of gossip and jealousy. I crushed every altar before the sacrifice touched it. The pain you endured was never for punishment, it was the crushing that awakens a chosen warrior. You were not abandoned, you were trained in divine isolation. I had to break the crowd around you to save the crown upon you. They talked about your breakdown. They missed your breakthrough. They assumed your pause meant defeat. You were hidden in divine silence. You were buried in mystery so heaven could reintroduce you in fire. The silence was your shield. Speak 777 in the comments. Let heaven see your agreement. Let earth feel your declaration. They stole from your joy, but heaven is returning it tenfold. They mocked your name, but I've wrapped it in golden armor. They tried to summon spirits against you, but I sent holy fire to answer first. You thought the delay meant denial. But the delay was your disguise. The delay was your decoy. There are angels standing on every broken piece of your past. Every mistake has now become a monument of mercy. Your history is being rewritten by the ink of glory. God says, the final blow has missed you. The trap was activated, but I rerouted your path. The fire was hot, but I stepped into it before it could touch you. They wanted to see you exposed. Instead, they'll watch you elevated. They wanted to hear your cries, now they'll hear your calling. Type, shield me now, below. This is a weapon. This is a covering. This is a mark upon your destiny. The rage that followed you was not random. It was assigned. But now it is revoked. Their curses have expired. Their words are deflected. Their magic is dismantled. I am Michael, commander of heavenly forces. I do not speak unless heaven has moved. And now, heaven has moved for you. Release 999. That is the number of completion. That is the collapse of demonic cycles. You are no longer prey, you are power. You are no longer hunted, you are hidden in light. You are no longer a name, they will call you by your anointing. The courtroom in heaven has silenced the accusations. The scroll of charges against you has been burned. The prosecutor has lost their voice. Your name is now thunder in the spirit. Your walk shakes invisible foundations. Your prayers release angelic fire. Type, I receive divine judgment, below. Let them know the verdict is in. Let them know the chains have shattered. The contract of delay has been torn. The agreement of sabotage is dissolved. The spirit of confusion has been cast out of your atmosphere. They tried to rewrite your story. But your story was never theirs to edit. Your ending was sealed before their whispers ever began. You were chosen. Not by default, but by divine strategy. Not by chance, but by covenant. Speak fire in the comments. Watch the demons tremble. Watch the strongholds collapse. This is not emotion, this is execution. This is not spiritual hype, this is spiritual warfare. This is not a message, this is a manifestation. You were the only one who could survive what you survived. You were the only one heaven trusted with this burden. That's why you're reading this now. They waited for your collapse. But all they'll see is your coronation. They waited for your shame. But all they'll witness is your ascension. Type 111 for your divine arrival. Let the enemies be confused. Let the heavens be notified. I am not done with you. I am only beginning. This is the rising of the chosen. The spiritual tornado sent to destroy you has now lifted you into your calling. The very winds of adversity became the wings of your escape. You are now above what once held you down. God says, I have marked you. Not just for survival, but for supernatural acceleration. Not just for protection, but for possession of promise. I've shut the mouths that cursed you. I've bound the hands that hexed you. I've erased the fingerprints of sabotage from your soul. Shout yes below. This is your agreement. This is your answer to the call. But their access is permanently denied. Their rituals are nullified. Their networks are broken. I am Michael. I stand with you now. I shield the remnants of your spirit. The doors are opening. The seals are breaking. The inheritance is descending. They will see. They will witness. They will be silenced by the glory on your life. This is not just a moment, it is a mandate. This is not just a message, it is a miracle. Type victory is mine. For the battle has been fought. And you have already won. Your enemies will retreat. Your name will rise. Your future is now. Heaven has stepped in. Michael has spoken. The warfare has ended. And you will never be the same again. God says, the veil has thinned and your name is ringing in the halls of fire. The scrolls are open, and your spirit has been summoned. You were not meant to skip this is not a coincidence. The hourglass is almost empty. The message is burning with urgency because what's coming next must find you prepared. You've been walking in shadow, but now your light is being demanded. I, Archangel Michael, am not whispering, I am declaring. The battle over your soul has intensified, and your presence here is proof that you were selected. Not everyone could endure what you endured, but you stood, and heaven noticed. This message is wrapped in divine fire. It cannot wait. It cannot be ignored. Type 333 for blessing. Every keystroke echoes in the spirit. Every signal you give marks you with angelic reinforcement. They have searched for your weakness. They tried to invade your emotional vault. But your location is no longer accessible. You've been cloaked in heavenly code. The spiritual trackers have been blinded. The old cycles no longer recognize you. The familiar spirits that fed off your past are now starving. They expected you to fold. They anticipated your fall. But instead, you've been lifted into a level they can't interpret. Release 444. Let this be your unshakable confirmation. Let this unlock your divine defense. They are still watching you from the shadows of your history. They are still hoping the old you will re-emerge. But the old you has been spiritually exiled. What once defined you is now a shattered mirror. The version they remember no longer exists. You've crossed over into divine strategy. God says, I shield what is sacred. And your spirit is now sacred. Your process was painful because your destiny is powerful. You were forged in fire, not forgotten in silence. You were hidden, not rejected. You were groomed in mystery, not abandoned. Every delay has been a layer of armor. Every betrayal has been a sharpened blade of truth. Every heartbreak has become a battlefield testimony. Type Amen to confirm your authority. Let the spirit realm register your awakening. Let every dark monitor be silenced. You are not ordinary. Your calling carries weight in dimensions your eyes haven't seen. Your movements ripple through timelines they cannot map. This is why the attacks intensified. This is why the warfare grew colder. This is why the isolation became unbearable. Because you are chosen. Not just called, but marked. Not just seen, but spiritually stationed. Speak now. Speak with your spirit, even in stillness. The angelic forces move at the sound of your surrender. I've seen them try to manipulate your emotions. They latched onto your regret, your shame, your confusion. They thought your silence was surrender. But I tell you, your silence was a shield. Your tears were timestamps of transformation. Your breakdowns were the final cracks before your breakthrough. They summoned old spirits using your name. They gathered in spiritual secrecy, hoping to rewrite your destiny. But their words turned to ash as your name echoed in fire. Type 555 to shift the realm. This is your number. This is your movement. This is your sword. The spiritual locks have clicked open. The gate to your purpose is creaking under the weight of heaven's approval. The timing they tried to corrupt has now been synchronized by divine command. You were never late. You were never lost. You were being processed in hidden chambers. The warfare wasn't random, it was calculated resistance. Resistance builds power. And now, power flows through you like a rushing river. The kingdom of darkness is trembling. They sense your awakening. They know their grip is slipping. Release 777 in faith. Heaven tracks the bold. Angels respond to movement. Warriors walk in obedience. God says, the chains have rusted and fallen. The lies have turned against the liars. The exposure meant for you has redirected. I've surrounded your secrets with fire. I've buried your mistakes in mercy. I've covered your name in holy oil. They want to locate your insecurity, but I have sealed it in grace. They want to exploit your history, but I've rewritten your legacy. They want to trace your scars, but I've turned them into sacred symbols. Type, it is done, to lock this in. This is no longer a wish, it is a verdict. It is no longer hope, it is happening. You've been dressed in unseen armor. You've been filled with spiritual weapons. You've been aligned with heavenly intelligence. This is why some connections suddenly broke. This is why silence filled the rooms that once celebrated you. This is why heaven gave no explanation, it was preparing you for elevation. I, Archangel Michael, am not asking. I am commanding that you rise. You must step into your new terrain. They cannot follow you there. They were only allowed to be part of your preparation, not your promotion. Their access expired when your spirit ascended. Declare 000, new realm activated. You have entered divine immunity. You have been marked for untouchable purpose. The traps are now exposed. The snare they set has collapsed under its own weight. The curse they crafted has reversed course. You've endured the fire. Now you walk through the smoke with a crown. You survived the ambush. Now you speak with thunder. Heaven did not forget you. The silence was divine planning. The absence of answers was the presence of angels. Type 222 if you are ready. This signals obedience. This invites divine motion. You are not who you were even 6 days ago. That version has expired. That vibration has shifted. You are now in angelic protection protocol. Your location in the spirit is fire-sealed. The enemy surveillance has been erased. This next move will confuse them. This next blessing will offend them. This next level will lose them. Because you are not going back. You are not revisiting old wounds. You are not apologizing for elevation. Speak, my time is now. Speak it until the walls respond. Speak it until the warfare retreats. They formed groups in secret to watch your fall. They rehearsed your ruin behind the veil. But now they'll be spectators to your divine rise. They are searching, but I am shielding. They are speculating, but I am severing. They are doubting, but I am delivering. Your steps are no longer earthly. They are divine blueprints unfolding in real time. You've been mapped by the hand of the Most High. Type 888 for infinite favor. Let this code blaze across realms. Let it be your signal to step boldly. God says, I've placed Michael over this assignment. His sword is drawn. His wings are extended over your path. The darkness has been notified. The light has been ignited. The heavens have declared, this one is chosen. They can't delay what I have already stamped. They can't block what I have already built. They can't deny what I have already declared. You are not invisible, you are intentionally hidden. You are not alone, you are divinely escorted. You are not behind, you are being preserved. Speak victory. Let every gate hear you. Let every spirit recognize your authority. This is not the end, it is the establishment. This is not the finale, it is the forming. This is not warning, it is war. I am Michael. I only rise when something holy is at stake. And now, you are what heaven protects. Your voice carries thunder. Your hands hold breakthrough. Your future has been lit with sacred fire. The countdown is real. This message will vanish. But the shift it activated will remain forever. Type 911, heaven has intervened. The emergency is over. The enemy has been silenced. You've been chosen. You've been anointed. You've been set free. God says, silence is sacred in this hour. There is something being activated for you that must remain concealed. What's coming is too holy for the wrong ears to hear. You've been led here for a reason beyond understanding. This divine transmission is not random, it's written in realms above. Heaven is aligning things in secret so hell cannot sabotage it. You are not to reveal what is unfolding. Your steps have been encrypted. Your destiny has been layered in code only angels can interpret. This is not a coincidence. The timing, the signal, the sensation you feel, it's confirmation. Divine instruction is unlocking within your spirit. Type 333 for blessing. The number is your access. Your agreement activates angelic defense. What you've hidden in silence is about to bloom in breakthrough. The pain you buried beneath smiles is becoming power. What once made you tremble now makes demons tremble. They tried to track your vulnerability. They whispered through your memories. But I've redirected the path to your emotions, they can't find you. They are watching, but they can't see. They are listening, but they hear nothing. You are spiritually cloaked. Release 444. Your obedience is warfare. Your stillness is a sword. I, Archangel Michael, have been assigned to your atmosphere. My wings have been stationed at the door of your destiny. My sword is drawn, ready, unwavering, burning with purpose. They tried to trace you through betrayal. They thought past mistakes would leave trails. But your location is no longer accessible, you've been relocated to sacred dimensions. God says, keep it sealed. Don't speak what I've hidden in your heart until I command it. Divine things grow in silence. You are being watched by spirits of envy. They want to see your downfall, not your deliverance. So heaven has shrouded your transformation in mystery. There are things you've survived that no one knows about. There are prayers you've whispered that split atmospheres. There is power rising from your quiet suffering. Type Amen and it is so. The heavens respond to certainty. The enemy flees when faith is declared. You have walked through mental storms with no umbrella but belief. You have stood in emotional hurricanes with no anchor but hope. And still, you did not drown. You've been chosen because you carry weight in the unseen. The darkness identifies you by your resilience. The light affirms you by your endurance. This next shift is not for the crowd. This move is private, because public eyes would pollute sacred progress. Keep it between your spirit and the sky. Speak now if you're ready. The realm of angels is listening. Let this be your spiritual fingerprint. They are searching, but I am shielding. They are hoping, but I am halting. They are chanting, but I am crushing. Their chants will collapse. Their plans will fracture. Their timing will fail. Type 555 to block demonic interference. What heaven builds cannot be hacked. What God authors cannot be edited. The enemy sent confusion into your emotions, hoping to distort your inner compass. They thought silence meant you were broken. But your silence was sacred strategy. You were never drifting, you were being directed. You were never forgotten, you were being forged. You were never delayed, you were being defended. They thought you were finished. They were wrong. You were only being rerouted to a higher dimension. Release 111 for divine alignment. You are stepping into coordinated acceleration. You are no longer out of sync. Don't speak what I haven't commanded you to say. The wrong word can open the wrong door. The wrong ears can twist holy things. You carry a spiritual technology. Not everyone is authorized to connect to your frequency. What's being formed in your spirit is too sensitive to expose. God says, I have turned down the volume of distractions so you can hear this. I have muted the noise around you so this instruction can break through. I am setting you apart for divine protection. They will wonder why you're pulling back. Let them wonder. The silence is your power. You're not hiding, you're being hidden. You're not backing down, you're preparing to launch. You're not avoiding people, you're aligning with purpose. Type 000, access the vault of protection. This vault opens only to the chosen. It seals itself from intruders. I, Michael, stand between you and every demonic signal. I block the decoding of your purpose. I scatter the watchers. They cannot trace the route heaven carved for you. They cannot intercept the revelation you carry. They cannot sabotage what they cannot see. Your elevation is not waiting, it has already begun. The realm of delay has been shut. The realm of divine motion is open. Speak, activate the angels. Declare it with inner force. Say it until fear flees. They've been following shadows of who you used to be. But that version has collapsed. What remains is unshakable, untraceable, undefeated. The silence you've held has built spiritual strength. The patience you've carried has constructed spiritual palaces. The stillness you've maintained has drawn legions of angels to your side. You have reached a sacred checkpoint. The warfare behind you proves the value of what's ahead. The storm was not punishment, it was protection. Type 222 for secured passage. The gates are opening. The watchers have been blinded. You don't owe anyone explanations. What heaven is doing for you requires secrecy. The womb of purpose must be shielded. There are eyes that pretend to support you, but their spirits resist your rising. I will remove their access. I will fracture their attachments. This is not a delay, this is a launch sequence. This is not silence, it is synchronization. This is not distance, it is divine clarity. They are reading your behavior like a map. But I have distorted the terrain. I've covered your movement in fog only angels can see through. Release 999, close old cycles permanently. What once had access now has a locked door. What once held weight now drifts into irrelevance. There are realms you are about to enter where your name already exists. Rooms you've never stepped in that know your assignment. Doors that respond to your spirit before your knock. You are approaching a moment of divine reversal. Where dishonor turns to distinction. Where pain transforms into prophetic positioning. Speak, I receive sacred covering. Let it rise from your chest. Let it ripple across dimensions. The ones who cast doubt will fall silent. The ones who monitored your pain will be shocked. The ones who laughed at your silence will choke on your emergence. God says, I have sent Michael not to warn you, but to arm you. The war is not future, it is now. The victory is not pending, it is present. This moment is sacred. This silence is holy. This secrecy is protection. Your destiny is heavy. That's why the burden has been unbearable. But you are stronger now because you've carried the unbearable and still stood. Type 888 for divine overflow. This is more than survival, it's surplus. This is more than breakthrough, it's birthing. I am silencing your accusers. I am confusing your trackers. I am dismantling their expectations. They are waiting for weakness, but I've fortified your foundation. They are seeking access, but I've locked every entrance. They are gathering data, but I've corrupted their source. Speak, it is covered. Speak it loud enough that the past stops knocking. Speak it clear enough that fear flees. Don't post it. Don't share it. Don't explain it. This move is holy. This elevation is fragile in the womb of development. Protect what is sacred. The exposure meant for you is now backfiring. The traps set for you are now ensnaring your enemies. The narrative formed against you is now falling apart. Type 777, completion, perfection, protection. This sequence marks the end of delay. It seals the next gate with fire. I am Michael. When I arrive, it means something divine is in danger. And what you carry is no longer allowed to be touched. Walk carefully. Speak little. Pray often. You're not being quiet, you're being kept. You're not hiding, you're being healed. You're not waiting, you're being written into glory. In 6 minutes, the spirit realm will respond. In 6 minutes, something will shift. In 6 minutes, silence will roar.